right, here we are. Yay! So my name is Wendy Lee, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, and super excited that you're joining me today in my studio for a little bit of paper crafting fun. Yay! I have a beautiful, beautiful fun fold card for you today featuring products from the early release Eden's Garden collection. I don't know if you've seen this one yet, but it is beautiful, 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 beautiful. So I actually shared this card last night on my blog as my entry for the International Project Highlights. And I hope that you will go over to my blog at CreativeLeeYours.com and take a look at the blog post and vote for me. Yay. So the winners of the hop get to participate in another hop, a winner's hop. It's just, kind of a fun recognition. So it is global. So that's kind of fun as well. So do you want to see the project we're making? It's this one. Is it not gorgeous? I love it. It's a fun fold card. Isn't that neat? And it's got so much great detail. We'll take a closer look over at it when we switch over to the camera. Okay. All right. I'm going to switch over. So I'll see you in a moment. There we go. Yay. Okay. Let me make sure I'm in the proper location before I jump too far in. Because Facebook's always a little interesting, right? Oh, hey, Mary. So glad you're here today. See if some others pop on in. All right. So again, this is the project that we're going to be making today, and it is gorgeous. It's got so much great detail. So you've got some shimmer with the vellum overlay there. You've got a little vellum circle behind, a little bit of cording underneath there, adds some fun and excitement. Some of the ephemera pack, some gems. Love the stitch detail here. So I'm going to show you how to do all of that and to create the fun fold as well. And then we've got a little stamping on the inside. All right. So as I mentioned, we are featuring a few of the products from the Eden's Garden collection. Hey, Jean, so glad you're here today. So this is a product collection that is going to be in the new mini catalog that starts, I believe it's January 4th. However, the stamp and die bundle will be carried over, but the awesome designer series paper, the garden gems, and then I didn't grab it, but there's a cotton paper as well that's it's kind of a tissue paper weight that's beautiful as well. And those are only available while supplies last. So if you want to get your hands on these, I highly recommend getting them sooner rather than later. All right. So let me bring the card back in one more time so you can see that, and then we will jump right in. So I do have registration going on right now, and I'll show you a sneak peek of those projects as well for the Maker's Mojo Eden's Garden Stamp Camp. Friday is your last day to register and get the stamp camp. So you don't want to miss it. It's a 12 project tutorial, and I've partnered with my Maker's Mojo buddies, Audra Monk, Melanie Hawken, and Melissa Kerman to bring you a fabulous set of 12 projects. So let's go ahead and get started on this project here. So I'm going to bring in my Simply Score. Now, I didn't put this in the supply list because you can use your paper trimmer, or at least I don't think I put it in the supply list. I might have, but I don't think I did. But you can use either one. I just think from a video perspective, this is a little bit easier if I can make this work. So I am going to score. So this is an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of thick, basic white cardstock. I like to use thick cardstock whenever possible when I'm using a white or vanilla card base. So I'm going to score this at 1 inch, 2 inches, and 5 1/4 of an inch. All right. So we're going to slide this away. And then I've got another piece that is 3 inches by 8.5, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. So let's go ahead and just move our markers out of the way so that we don't make a mistake and get it scored in the right place. All right, that's all we need our scoring board for. So we'll move that out of the way. And let's go ahead and fold these pieces. Oh, Jean, I'm glad you liked the card. Yeah, I was really pleased with how it turned out. All right, so I'm just going to fold along these score lines on both of these pieces here. This is going to be my card base. So let's go ahead and fold that one up. I'll show you this from the side, and then that one I'm going to fold down. a little bit of an accordion going on. So that is the card base itself, right? And then this is the other piece we're going to attach on. Not quite yet, but we will attach it in just a moment. So I'm going to pull these out flat again as I decorate them. So I'll make sure after the video, I give you guys the complete supply list and cut dimensions. That way you know exactly what products you might need to order if you want to duplicate this project, as well as what you need to cut all of your layers to be able to create the card. All right. So I've got some soft succulent cardstock, and then I've cut out some of the designer paper from one of the trim, or from one of the designs. Trims, who knows what I'm saying. And so I've got two pieces. I've got a larger and a smaller. And again, I will include those dimensions in after the video. All right, so we're just going to use a little stamp and seal, get this designer paper attached right to this layer. And you know, I like those skinny frames. So I've got the nice little skinny 1/16 inch border all the way around. Gotta love that, right? It's my favorite. Now, I also have, in addition to the Maker's Mojo Stamp Camp registration going on, I also have anyone that purchases either the Stamp and Die bundle from me or the entire collection from me also gets another bonus tutorial. So if you register for the Stamp Camp and you add on the bundle, you're going to get both tutorials. I didn't advertise that, but I surprised everyone with that. At least as the ones that have paid so far, I've already gotten that. And I also gave it as a gift to my Forget-Me-Not Club members. So they've got the tutorial bundle already as well. So lots of ways to get your hands on it. All right, so I've got these layers down. So next I want to go and attach this layer. And I'm going to open it up, and I want to attach the front just to this little bottom panel. And then the back is going to attach at the bottom of that card base. Make sense? I hope it makes sense. So let's start with our little front piece here. So I'm going to put some adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and just put a couple little strips of it. I just don't want it to go wider than this bottom panel. And then I'm going to take it all the way down to the bottom edge of that card base. So see what I've got going on, right? Just to that little edge there. And then on the back, I'm going to do that as well. Put a couple strips of Stamp and Seal and literally just fold that down, and it will land right at the bottom. So that's my card, right? That's the card base right there. Yes, another good reason to join Club G. I agree with you. Lots of great perks when you join the card club. So we're talking about my Forget-Me-Not, or FMN. You might see it advertised that way as well. So that is my monthly card club. And this card is a perfect example of something we would do in that card club, because we do a little bit more advanced projects. So we're doing fun folds and techniques, lots of layers. So it kind of takes your cards up to another level, I think, right? They are not, if you're a fast, easy kind of person and you don't want anything that's going to take a little extra time, that is not the class for you. It is for someone that wants to have some extra special projects to send out and share with people. All right. So next I've got another piece of soft succulent, and then a piece of basic white that I have already run through. So technically this is a die. This is the Stitch Leaves dies. If you guys follow me, you've been seeing me use this often. I love this die. It adds this great stitched leafing detail. It's just fabulous. If you don't have it, you want this die. I'm telling you, you want this die. It's awesome. One of my favorites for sure. All right, so we will go ahead and add a little bit of Stamp and Seal to the back of this and get this adhered down. Now, you guys know when I'm showing you adhesives, a lot of times I'm showing you based on my personal preference. You could easily use other things. So you could use Seal Plus if you like that little extra weight to the adhesive, a little more sticky. You're welcome to use that. Or if you like to use liquid glue. If you're a liquid glue fan, I say jump all in with liquid glue. Those that know me know that liquid glue and I sometimes don't get along very well. I get sticky. I don't like it. It's a crazy thing. Now, I will use liquid glue today on a couple of things because sometimes it's just the right thing to do, right? So, for example, I am going to pull in a piece from the ephemera pack. So mine is not pretty anymore in the package because I have pulled lots of things out of it. So let's see if I can get one of these out of here. And I just want to pull one of these larger frames off of this. Now these are super delicate. I love them. They add such a nice touch, but they are super, super delicate. And they don't have an adhesive back. So that would be the one thing I think they could have done to improve this. But I'm sure if they did it, there was another reason that it would have caused it to be problematic. So there's probably a reason for it. But that's all right. I'm going to show you how to adhere it on. So you've got a couple options. You could use some glue dots and just kind of tack it in place. You could use some Stampin' Seal and tack it in place. Now I save all these little pieces because you just never know when you might want a little bit of a gold frame there. So like I said, you can use fine tip glue, liquid adhesive, glue dots. You know, you could tack it like on this, we've got the butterfly covering one corner. So I could literally run a little bit of adhesive down here and just tack it here if we want to do that, where the butterfly is going to cover it anyway. Or you could take a sponge dauber with some liquid glue and kind of put it on the back of it. I am literally going to just tack it down here in the corner and kind of see how that works for us today. That is not what I did on the original sample. I actually took a dauber and daubed some liquid glue on the back, but I kind of got a mess with it. So I decided, let's try this and let's see what happens. Now it may flop down too much. Yeah, what do you guys think? I think it's going to flop down a little too much. So this isn't going to give me the security I want. So let me go ahead and pull that back off. It's not going to hurt anything. Let me go grab that dauber and we'll do it the right way, or the messy way. Really. Let's see if I can grab a dauber. I have a dauber set aside just for glue. So it's sticky and it sticks to the back of everything. You can wash it, but it's still sticky. All right. Let's see. Jean says, given that you include everything but stamping in the club card kits, the projects really are easier than you might think looking at them. Lots of what I can call artfully simple projects in the archives too. So worth it. Oh, thanks, Jean. Yeah, I do. I prep everything for you guys. You know, I can't provide stamped images. That's against Stampin' Up! Policy. So you can use whatever stamps you have if you don't have the stamps that that I'm using for the projects. So you can change it out. Hey, Kay, so glad you're here today. Yeah, Mary, you like the extra special projects? Yeah. Jean, you're good with messy as well? Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to, I got a little pool of glue. I'm going to put it on my dauber. Now, what's important is to not let this slide while I'm adding glue. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. I don't want that to slide. Let's see if I can kind of move it down just so I'm out of any risk of glue. And then I'm going to put a little bit on this other side. And then I'm going to see if I can carefully lift that off. So it's going to give me just a tiny bit of glue along those sides so I can hopefully tack this down without making too terribly big of a mess. And you don't want it to slide. And the reason you don't want it to slide, a couple things, right? You don't want glue to get on the front side of it because that's a mess to have to clean up. And then that's sticky and it's not so fun. Yeah, that's the main thing. That I didn't want it to slide, so I wouldn't get glue all over the front of it. So that actually worked fabulously, and I didn't have to use much adhesive at all. Let's see if I can move this out of the way so I don't get so gluey. Gluey. All right, so next layer. I'm going to set this right on the front here. So let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm a little sticky, so I just got to be careful that I don't press too hard while I'm adding my dimensionals to it. I've got one little corner edge left on this sheet here. I'm going to use this first. And then let's see if we've got another sheet hidden in our stash here. I hope so. Yes. Good. Yeah, so we were talking card club. So yes, the card club, if you are a product club member, I've got two options. I've got a tutorial only option. So that's available globally. And then I have a product option, which means you place a product order. You order what products you want each month. And with your order, you get the 4 card kits mailed to you, plus a little thank you each month. And so you've got access to the tutorials. There's bonus tutorials. There's over 750 tutorials in the group right now. So it's awesome. And there's a lot of really good stuff in there. All right, so this is down. Let's go ahead and set it aside and we're going to build our butterfly next. So next I did is I pulled in a piece of vellum and I used the Tasteful Labels dies and cut this larger circle-ish image, right? Is that a circle? Sort of a circle. Then I took my Brilliant Wings dies and I used the detail butterflies. I forgot to pull the other sheet. So there's, this is actually got the outline of the butterflies as well. So I actually cut this butterfly here and I did the Shimmer Vellum, which is gorgeous, and some plain soft succulent cardstock. So I've got 2 of them there, just to give a little more excitement. And let's go ahead and adhere these together. So I am going to adhere these 2 butterflies together along this body, just with a little bit of liquid glue. I don't want to do the whole thing. I just want it right along this body. And I'm going to use just a smidge of glue. A little goes a long way with this. Hopefully I'm in camera here. I keep pulling towards myself, forgetting that you guys need to be able to see what I'm doing. All right, so I put those together, which is great because this gives me this extra dimension here. So it's just a subtle, beautiful, yeah, I like it. All right, so let's go ahead and adhere this to this vellum circle as well. I should mention to you guys as we're working today that we also have a join special right now. So if you love Stampin' Up! Products and you're not already a demonstrator and you would like to join my Diamonds team, you can get the starter kit. It's $75. Oh my gosh, what a deal. So you could get the starter kit for $75 and join my Diamonds team. And then you also have access to all my classes. So my tutorial for not only the Maker's Mojo Stamp Camp, but all my class tutorials I share with my team, and they've got the bonus tutorial for the Eden's Garden as well. So lots of good stuff. We'd love to have you. We're a fun group. At least we have fun together, I would say. So something to consider if you're not already a demonstrator and you're in the US. I'm sorry for my non-US friends. You can't join under me, but you can join under a friend. If you need a name in any country, let me know and I'll hook you up with a friend. All right, next I'm going to pull in some of this elegant trim. I don't know about you guys, but I love this crazy gold trim. It's got gold and silver in the pack together. And I was surprised at how much I use this. It frays really nice. Let's see, I just want to tie a nice big loop so that it shows across that butterfly. Yeah, I like that. All right, just clip that off. Perfect. And then I am just going to glue dot that right on. I think it works best with the glue dot. Now you'll hear me call glue dots boogers. It's true. I do call them that. They're sticky. They're like the little snot under the kid's nose when they're little. Ah, this one must be on top. I'm getting so confused. I have some rolls where the dots are on this part and some rolls where they're up here. All right. So I'm just going to glue that right on to the body here. So cute, right? All right, next we're going to work on our sentiment. So let me slide that over. And I've got a piece of basic white and I'm pulling in Evening Evergreen ink. Hope I got that inked up. Oh, I did. I made a mess. Okay, we'll see how that goes. All right, nice little hello there. So this makes a great thank you card. You just say hello, write your little thank you note, let them know you're thinking about them. So many great things. All right, so now we are going to run this through. We're going to use the stitch rectangles, one of my favorites, and I'm going to use what I call the smallest skinny one. So these are my skinny ones, and then these are my regular ones. So I'm going to use that smallest skinny one. I'm going to run this through the die cutting machine. So I've got that there. All right, and then I want to pop this up right over the top, and I'm going to cover that little knot over that butterfly. So when I go to place my dimensionals, I don't want to put one right over that knot because it's going to stick up too much. So I may go ahead. Let's see if I can kind of strategically plan this out. I think I'm going to put one right next to that because I know I want one to hold it. And then let's put one on the back, close to the outer edge of this one. And let's see what we get. If it doesn't work, we can always pull it up. I won't push it down yet. Let's see. I could put one on that side as well. Let me do that. I really want this to be nice and secure. Then I can also force that loop to go the way I want it to go because it was kind of bugging me that it was twisted. All right, now let's try this and let's see how that works. Yeah, that's what I'm wanting. Hopefully I'm straight because I can't tell. So you can't see it all under the camera. All right, that's looking pretty good. I like it. All right, next, let's add a little bling. Why not? A little bit of bling. And we are going to use the wonderful gems. These were a carryover from last year's holiday catalog. And I'm glad that they carried over. I love them. It's got a lovely gold fleck in the red ones and the clear ones. So I'm going to use the clear ones. We have lots of great gems right now. These are really good. Whoops, I got a little carried away with my putty. See if I can get that off from the top. Perfect. All right, so we'll put one down there. Let's put another one there. Why not? Push that down a little bit. And then let's grab one more and I'm going to put it right there. I was just trying not to get it so lined up with the others, right? Okay. Slide that away. Cute. I love it. All right, let's do the inside. Let's put some fabulousness on the inside. So as you can see, I brought the layers to the inside and I've got one of the little sprigs stamped as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So I've got my white cardstock layer and let's bring in a scrap, a little bit of a scrap here. So I can stamp off the edge a little bit. And I'm going to bring in soft succulent ink. And then this little image here. So this Eden's Garden stamp set is a, what we call a dynamic, I think is the right word. So it's got lots of depth to it. It's almost like photorealistic, which is lots of fun. All right, so we've got that layer stamped. Let's go ahead and adhere these together with our stamp and seal. We are so close to done. My computer's acting up a little bit. So hopefully I'm still connected. You guys haven't lost me. If you guys are enjoying the projects that I'm sharing each week, I appreciate you sharing them with your crafty friends. And if you're watching on replay, you can follow me on Facebook or subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be awesome. Susan, you like it? Oh, good. Perfect, right? Love it. And then it stands up super easily. So you can put it on display. So pretty. Love all the sparkle. Can you see the sparkle from the shimmer paper? And then that little gold, there's just enough gold flecks in there. It's not too overpowering. It just adds a nice, delicate, beautiful, touch to it. Love it. So there's the original and there is the one that we just created. Yes? Awesome. Okay, do you guys want to see a sneak peek of my projects for the stamp camp? Yes? You'd move this sentiment and use the Eden's marquee gems on the butterfly just for variation. Yes, you totally could do that. So you could even leave the sentiment completely off the front, right? You could put the gold trim underneath the butterfly if you wanted and add the gems. Yes, that would be cute as well. Very, very pretty. All right. So what Jean's referring to is these fabulous gems because these are really, really nice. And you're going to see them in my projects. All right, so I have 3 of the projects for the Maker's Mojo event. So I'm not going to go in any particular order. So I've got this one here, which is gorgeous. It's got the cotton paper as a ruffle and then this tie. So we're going to open this up. And this is a fun Z fold. I can't hold the ribbon when I do it or it won't open. There we go. So that slides out, but very fun and pretty, right? And then I brought the butterfly in. So here's one that I added that gem like Jean was talking about. And we've got our layers on that. And then my last one, I decided to change it up a little bit, made it look a little more holiday-ish. So this has got a lot of bling going on it, lots of layers, and then brought that to the inside as well. Cute. So those are my 3 projects. There are fabulous. You're going to love them. There's 12 fabulous projects in the Maker's Mojo Stamp Camp. So again, Friday is your last day to register for that. Of course, if you're on my team, you're getting that tutorial bundle for free. So it's already scheduled to post in our group. So, all right. Thank you all so much for joining me today. And I can't wait to see you next Tuesday. All right. Thanks so much. And bye for now.